Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to another one of our live Q&A sessions. Hope everyone is doing well. Hope you guys can hear me and see me. Hope everything is working well. If you can, let me know, please, as usual. Microphone check, camera check, and all that stuff. Let me know if you guys can see and hear me. I can see there's some of you guys already here. So I'd like to say evening to you guys. Evening to all. If you're in the room, please hit the like button and let us know as well that you're here. Let me know that you're here. Just let's know where you're from, and also I'll give you guys a shout out as I normally do as well. So yeah, please hit the like button so that more people can join in to the fun that we're gonna have. As usual, we're here usually every Tuesday from 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock. Usually end up going to about 9:30. I did start a little bit late today. I got in a little bit late. Sorry guys, getting in from work, had a long day, so I need a little bit more time to get ready. So hence why I started a little bit later today. But we'll probably go on till about 9:15 anyway. Yeah. So I hope everyone is doing well. Hope you guys are enjoying the weather. Today was a little bit cooler. The weekend was a little bit unbearable, if I'll be honest. I did work this weekend, and I was working mostly outside. So it was a bit of a struggle because the sun, it was really, really hot, really dry, really hot. But today was a lot cooler, so a lot more manageable to work in. But I hope you guys had a great weekend. Hope everyone is doing well. And yeah, let's get into something tonight. So gonna shout out a couple of you who are on here. Please as well let me know where you are tuned in from as well. I'd like to know where everybody is tuning in from. We got Paul tonight. Hi Paul C. We got Jazz as well. Jazz Singh. Welcome Jazz, a regular here. Summer Nights as well. Welcome. Someone says hit the like button. I agree with that. If you're in here, just hit the like button. It only takes 2 seconds, and it just helps more people to know about the stream that's going on tonight. We've got Anthony Craig as well. Welcome Anthony, you're in the room. We got Furyan as well. Good evening. Sound clear. Yep, great. Thank you. Glad you guys can see and hear me. Matthew's here as well. Hi Matthew Hope, welcome. We got Ricky in here as well. Greetings Ricky to you too. Welcome. We got Lee as well. Got questions in already. Welcome to you, Lee. I'm gonna get to your questions. You're gonna get to you first, so give me 1 quick minute. We got Jeffers as well from Wales. All right, so Wales is the furthest so far. Jeffers, evening to you. And Dave C as well, good evening, in the UK as well. Welcome to you. Thank you for joining in. We got Raging Blade as well. Hi Darren. Hi Raging Blade, welcome. Thanks for tuning in. Matthew as well is from Scotland, sunny Scotland. So I guess Scotland is the furthest so far, right? Am I right? Scotland's further from London than Wales, right? I'm really bad with these things, but I think it is. I've driven to Scotland once, a long time ago. When I was an audio engineer. I was doing some work for a company, and I got contracted to provide the sound for these events and stuff, and sort of like corporate events, speaking events and stuff like that. And one of the events was in Scotland, and I had to drive from London. I remember leaving at like 3 a.m. to get there for like 9, set up for 9 or something like that. It was crazy. But one thing I do remember, which was really amazing, was driving. I got very near to Scotland at a certain point. I just remember it was sort of like, is it dawn? Is it dusk? I'm not sure which one it is. The early morning one, and it was really beautiful. It was just like really cool. It was sort of like sun just started to come up and stuff. I always remember that, driving through really nice scenery and stuff like that. So Yeah, I'll always remember that drive to Scotland many years ago. So we got Foyen as well. Weather is turning. Yep, weather is turning in Portsmouth, UK, not Dominica. Yeah, so Dominica has a Portsmouth as well. For those who don't know, obviously it was named by the British, and it is a port. It was a port. It has a fort there as well of cannons and all that stuff. And yeah, that's where yachts and stuff come in. So we got Pat Link as well. Good evening, Darren, watching along from the lovely Wirral. Welcome to you, Pat. We got Cam as well from Birmingham in the building. Welcome. And we also got Carter as well from Gateshead. Some of these places I've heard of them before, but I don't know where they are or what direct. I don't even know what direction. Gateshead I've heard of before. I'm not sure where that is. Is that north? Is it south? Is it east or west from London? Let me know where that is. And we've got Gwyn as well. Gwyn James Carpentry. Greetings from Whitney, Oxfordshire. I was in Oxford not long ago, actually. So welcome from Oxfordshire. And we've got Gigi as well. He says evening all. Evening to you. And we got Dave Seed here again. Amazing. All right, guys. So also I'd like to say as well, and just a shout out again to Paris for last week's show. It was an amazing show. And thank you for those of you tuned in to last week and all the great questions on your questions that people had on planning particularly. So as I said, I'm going to be trying to do it more often. I'm trying to get someone in at the moment who's an expert in their field, and also just to bring in various people like that who can just add knowledge to you guys and just provide knowledge that we all want to get, and that is sometimes not accessible to us very easily. So that's what I'm going to be trying to do. Hopefully I can do it once a month. I can bring a guest in once a month and just take it from there. So yeah, I'll let you guys know when the next one is going to be. So also we got more people in here. We got Jamie as well. Welcome, Jamie, from Kent. Jamie Kent from Kent. I like that. We got Poppy Pop as well. Good evening, Darren and everyone. Welcome. We got Ben Pattinson from Blackburn. Hey, Ben. We got Ellie as well. Ellie's got questions as well. Oh gosh, we're gonna get to this one. We're gonna get to this one in a minute. And we've got Carter again on the south side of the River Tyne, just across the water from Newcastle upon Tyne. Okay, cool. I know where. I've been to Newcastle before, or Sunderland actually. I think it's Sunderland I went to, so that's sort of like that area, isn't it? Quite way up north. Yeah, I've been there. Let's see. We got MC 1703. Evening, Darren. Private building control officer would be a good guest to have on. Yeah, definitely. I would love to. I don't know any personally, but I would love to get one on just to ask him questions myself. Maybe I will reach out to one and see if I can. I mean, I do meet them. I do meet them on the jobs. One of the timber frame extension that we're doing at the moment is a private firm. I've actually dealt with that firm before, probably 2 or 3 times now, but different people every time. So I met the last guy I met the other day. He came in to see the steels. He was quite a nice chap actually, and he had his apprentice with him as well, or trainee with him. So maybe next time I speak to him, I will maybe see if they will be up for it. You never know. It doesn't hurt to ask. Let's see, where else are we? Who else have we got here? We've got Raging Blade. I'm sat watching on my TV, but typing in the chat using my phone. Laugh out loud. Yeah, because I there's one thing that bugs me about YouTube. I could be wrong. I don't know. I've watched YouTube on the TV a couple of times, like smart TVs. Usually not when I'm at my house. I've been on holiday and I've had it on the smart TV when I was in Dominica. For that 5 months, the house we were renting had a smart TV and we watched YouTube on that a lot. But I couldn't see comments. I couldn't read any, which is one of my favorite things watching videos, is to read what people are saying. I couldn't find comments on that. Maybe you can. I don't know. I definitely couldn't type anything, but It seems like you've got to watch it on TV and then you've got to do the comments on your phone, which makes sense. But I could just not know how to do it. Maybe, I don't know. So we got Dean as well. Welcome, Dean. Dean's got some questions as well. I'm going to get to those. I'm going to get to the questions right now. Let's jump back up to the beginning and we're going to work our way down as usual. If you do have any questions, guys, just throw it in there. If I can answer it, I will. If someone else can help me answer it, please help. Because I don't know the answers for everything. I just answer what I can, or what I know. Okay, so we've got Lee first. Lee's the first question. Lee Cornwall says, what are your thoughts on the mortgage interest increases and housing situation and how this will affect the building industry? Doesn't look good. Yeah, interesting. Well, I guess when everything goes up, it just costs. Everything costs. Everything affects other people. It's funny you said that. I was even thinking about building regs. This is going up this month. Like, it's sort of going into the new building regs. I think it starts from July, really, officially. And even the fact that people have to have sort of larger cavity insulation and stuff. I was watching the video of Steve and Alex. They're doing a video where they've got larger trenches now. And it's like all these things I was thinking about. And I was like, we actually have to charge more money now, because if you're digging wider trenches, your trenches are going to get obviously wider. So that means the concrete pour is going to be bigger. Everything is just the insulation is going to cost more money. It's just like all these changes to regulations in more insulation, all these different things. It's just costing the customer more money, and it's making it more difficult for some people to be able to achieve this dream of extending their homes or whatever, because it's just getting further and further away from their budget. Now, if they've got interest rates increasing where their mortgages are going to increase, that means, again, less disposable income. If they want to do remortgages, it's going to be more money. It's funny enough, I've got 2 customers who want to do us to do work for them. I think one's a loft and a garden house, and the other one is sort of a full refurb of sort of a quite large house, but full refurb. And one of the things we've had to do with getting their quotes in is because they needed to lock in a deal before sort of like this week or something, because the rate was going to go up if they on their remortgage and stuff. So a lot of people have been rushing to sort of borrow money to do these projects, because they leave it for a month, it's just going to be too expensive for them, so I think that will affect I think it will affect people's ability to do work on their houses, people's ability to move if they want to move. Some people get caught in a situation where they need more space because, their family's increasing, they've got another kid or something like that, and they need more space. They just haven't got enough space, and some of them can't even afford to move, to sell up and buy another house, because it's just way out of reach. And then they get in a situation where they might struggle to increase the size of the house as well. So it's just kind of getting tough in that sense, for everyone. How it will affect the building industry, I think it may have a slight impact on it, but I think because the commercial industry, I don't think is going to be affected, because we need housing and there's money being pumped into housing. Maybe the sort of smaller residential builders who are doing extensions and stuff like that, it may sort of affect them a little bit, slow things down a little bit. I'm not sure, but I think those who are sort of solid with their customer base and stuff, I think they'll be fine. Even during COVID, I met so many people at different places. Other builders would say, "We're having a chat or whatever," and they're talking about work or things are quiet and that. And I always just noticed that we never slowed down. It was just work was just. There was literally 2 months from the first lockdown where I was at home because we had to stay at home, and all the building stores were closed. Literally, all the large ones were all closed for 2 months. There was literally Wickes, Selco, everyone was closed. So after that initial sort of 2 months, I've never had a break since then. I've just been going flat out, really. So I think some builders will be alright. Those who are more established with their customer base, they'll be fine. Those who are sort of working their way up maybe might struggle a little bit. But I think generally speaking, things are not going to slow down. It's just going to keep going, I think. Yeah, people have no choice. Right, so let's keep moving on. So let's see questions. We've got, sorry guys, it's my hay fever as well. It's always getting me at this time of the evening. Right, let's see. We've got Ellie. Ellie's asking, did you hear of the house collapsing in Hackney? Made me think of the Kaibo build. I actually haven't. I'm going to look into that because I actually did not hear about that. It sounds interesting. But no, I actually haven't heard of that. But I'm going to find out about that and see what actually happened. Let's see what questions we are here. Hey Darren, mate, this is Dean. Would you ever become a surveyor? They earn such good money, I heard. No, I haven't considered it. Funny, that's a interesting question. I spoke to a lady today, who called me, and she's actually a student studying to be a surveyor, a building surveyor, and she's actually asked if she can sort of shadow with us for a couple of hours here and there, to sort of, because she wants to understand better about the actual practical aspect of building. Because obviously, you go to school and stuff like that, you learn to be a surveyor and stuff like that, but learning and understanding the materials and stuff is sort of, that's what you get on site. So yeah, she's actually asked that if I could help her with that, essentially. So I said, yeah, we're willing to do that. So we may do that. She may come in and sort of shadow and ask questions on certain things that we're doing. So I don't know how much they earn. I could do it. It'd be interesting, maybe. With me, I can do any job where I'm not in one place all the time. So I guess I could do surveying, because you're going to be seeing so many different houses, different people, you're moving around. Every house is going to be different. You're going to be seeing different issues and stuff. And when you come in from a builder, you do have a good, sort of already have a good step into that, because you're able to see a lot of things that straight off the bat, because you're used to it. I've seen so many times that I've come in. Just last week, a friend of a friend sent me they're trying to sell a house, and they've been having issues of selling it. I think a buyer pulled out because they had done a survey, and the survey came up with some issues which they weren't willing to share the survey with them, so they wasn't really sure what the issues were. So they went off and got their own survey, because I suggested they get their own one, and they actually sent me the survey for me to have a look at it, to sort of give my views on what things they should get done. There were various things in there. There was anything from as sort of straightforward as there's no gas or electrical certificates present, so that gives you an automatic red, even though there could be nothing wrong. But it's a simple thing of go out and get these sort of certificates done, inspect the electrics and the gas. There was possibility of asbestos in the ceilings, which would probably put a lot of people off. So there were recommendations to get it removed, and there was a few little damp spots and stuff like that. So there's lots of things that I've come into houses where I remember once having a look at a house that someone was going to buy, because they were actually buying it for a charity to help vulnerable women, and they were going to change it into an HMO, and they had all these ideas of creating this, extending the space and doing all these different things. So they asked me to come in to quote or tell them roughly how much it would cost to do the work. And I came in, and when I looked at that, I walked in the house straight away. I said, this house is subsiding. And they looked at me like, what do you mean? I was like, well, the house is subsiding. Can't you tell? Like, it's leaning to one side. And they had totally not even noticed that. And they were buying it in cash. they hadn't already got a survey done, because I asked them if they had a survey and they said no. They were so excited about the work that they were doing, they'd bypassed so many steps. And I remember when I told them what to do, I remember the lady emailing me and saying, thank you so much. We did a survey and we found out the house needed this and it was subsiding and needed underpinning and all these different things. They totally weren't aware of it. And that's something that happens a lot. So, yeah, I guess I could do the job. I'm sure I could do it. But I don't know. Maybe as I'm getting older, I have to divert into jobs where I'm not going to be working in my hands too much, because it's starting to get wear on the body now, man. So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe that'll be that. Maybe that's an option further down the line to do. All right, let me see. Let's get on with some more questions. We got Raging Blade. Question is, it would be hard for building inspectors to provide advice online, as they would always caveat their views since they don't have access to all information. You could try some other YouTubers. Yeah, it's true. I mean, it's similar to what Paris had to do. She had to caveat that she may be just giving her own opinion on things, and it's not to be taken as some sort of advice. So as long as they caveat that, I mean, it should be fine. Yeah, and obviously there's going to be so much that they can advise you on without physically seeing things, you know what I mean? Right, so we got Sakline Ali. Hope I got that right. Hi, your videos are amazing. Could you shout out my uncle? He loves your videos. His name is Ali. All right, so welcome, Ali. Shout out to Ali. Thank you for watching our videos, and I'm glad that you enjoy our videos. Our videos are going all over the place at the moment. And my friend just called me a while ago, and he's like, I was talking to my barbers the other day, and he was telling me about this guy who's been watching since COVID. He was cutting his grass, and I really love his videos. And because they were talking about this flat that he got and he wants to do up. And he started talking about him. He said, I've been following him. He's going to Dominica and all this. And he's like, okay, I know a guy from Dominica as well. And he finds out he's talking about me. Do you know what I mean? And that was just chatting with his barber and stuff. So yeah, the videos are getting out, and we're getting a lot of love from people. I met a young guy in IKEA the other day, and he's getting into the trades and everything. So it was good I had a nice little chat with him. He said he learned so much, and that's what I like. A lot of people said that they learned so much from watching the videos, which was always the intention of the videos, was to share knowledge that I've acquired, because when I was trying to acquire information and knowledge, it was very difficult. I had to do a lot of work to find information. Now we're in this sort of YouTube era. It's a lot more easy for us, and I like to share the information to other people to help them to be able to sort of be self-sufficient and to do as much of things that they want to do on their own. All right, so let's see. We've got Mikey. Good evening, Darren. Hope all is good. Loving the videos. Mikey from Boron Hood. Shout out to Mikey. Welcome and thanks for watching. So Raging Blaze says, I saw that house collapse in the news, but when looking at the photos, it was clear that it was a different one. No adjacent neighbor on one side. And it's fun, I read a comment. Someone made a comment on the Cowboy Builder job this week, and they said, I think that house collapsed. So I wonder if that's what they were talking about, because I didn't really understand what they were on about. I think it was the last video that was there the other day. And yeah, someone made that comment. So maybe they were referring to that. They might have thought that was it. Evening, Glenn. We've got Glenn joining in as well. Syed says, I want to run a construction company with my experience as a QS. I'm assuming that's a quantity surveyor. And oops, sorry, I've lost it. A QS and PM. What's a PM? That doesn't spring to mind. What's a PM? Let me know. Is £25 per hour fair in London to a master multi-skilled builder on a self-employed basis? £25 an hour. So what does that work out on an 8-hour day? £200. 100%. If you're multi-skilled and you're good at what you do, you should definitely be worth at least £200 an hour a day. Sorry, an hour would be nice. Yeah, 100%. Because the thing that comes with multi-skilled, like you might see someone, let's say you're like a carpenter, someone's a carpenter, and they come in and fit a door. They might charge you in London probably £100 or something to fit a door. I don't know how long it takes a carpenter to do it. A good carpenter probably not going to take him too long. If you are able to, you have multi skills and you can do them well. You come in to do renovations for properties. You might end up fitting doors. You fit flooring. You do some plastering. You do painting. You actually save the customer quite a lot of money by fulfilling various trades, because what happens, like for us, sometimes we get various different trades done in the same day. So you're sort of utilizing our full 8 hours, where the plasterer might come in, he might work for 4 hours and knock out half the room or whatever he's got to do in that 4 hours, and you're going to pay him for his day or whatever it is. Whereas we've done the 4 hours and then we're off to do some tiling. Do you know what I mean? So I think people who have multiple skills should be rewarded for the fact that they have multiple skills. And £25 an hour is very fair, I think, for as you say, for a master multi-skilled. Yeah, 100%. So yeah, if that's what you want to do, then yeah, go for it, man. We got Raging Blades says, I've used Ascent as a private building inspector on a couple of projects and happy with them. They will engage in finding solutions if needed, but not necessarily cheap. Okay, nice. Dean, oh Darren, I've had a nightmare last week. I got a sewer pipe running from boundary to boundary line, and my extension is gonna run the full length, 1050s. It's just cost £1,050. It's just cost me to Southern Water. Whoa. Sorry to hear that, man. That's the thing, though. That's the thing with for a build over and a sewer protection note is crazy money. Yeah, I know. That's the thing with build when you do these jobs. You just don't know what you're gonna find. When you start digging. We had, if you guys remember the one we did last year, we did an extension. We had that pipe literally banging the corner of our extension, just running the wrong way, and then we ended up having to have steels, and they wanted it boxed in and concreted, and it just ends up being a nightmare and lots of costs and stuff. So I feel your pain, man. I feel your pain. But what can you do? Once you start, you've already invested all this money into starting the project. You got no choice, do you? You just got to keep going. So we got Society asking £12.50 for labourer, self-employed basis, London based. Yeah, I'm sure that's fine. That's fine. Yeah. Dean, I've gone through that one. Wanda, hi Darren. No questions, just saying hello from North Carolina, US. I just like your work ethics. Bravo. Thank you, Wanda, and welcome from North Carolina, USA. Shout out to the USA, massive. I've only been to America once. Well, yeah, I've been to America once on a holiday. I went for the Labor Day weekend. If some of you might know that I roller skate, and I went to a roller skating event in Labor Day weekend. It was in Atlanta, and it was sort of like 4 days, 4 nights, 5 nights, or something like that. I can't remember it was, and we literally roller skated every night at a rink. It was like a huge party. It was like 500 people a night or something in this roller rink. And it was like, I think it would start at 12 midnight and finish like 5 in the morning. It was just crazy, but it was an amazing time. I never forget it. So I was in Atlanta, and it was 5 rinks in Atlanta, just various parts of Atlanta. I mean, it's massive. They were so far from each other. But yeah, it was 5 really big, including the well-famous Cascade. If any of you guys know about roller skating, you'll know about Cascade. We went there. And other times I've just been in the States, stopovers for like a day. I've been to Miami for a day, went to the beach and stuff. New York, been out late at night. Why we did that? We decided we wanted to see Times Square. We left the airport in the middle of the night, which was a bit silly, but we did that. And where else did we go to? LA as well. We spent a day in LA as well. So maybe I'll take a trip to America one day and take a proper holiday. So we got an interesting fact here from MC. Approximately only 200 building surveyors qualify each year in the UK. Wow, it's very small. Numbers very low now compared to before. With all the surveyors retiring, they will soon be able to charge what they want. Wow, maybe I should become a surveyor then. Wow, only 200. That is not a lot. The lady that I spoke to who's training to be a surveyor, she did say it was really hard. So I'm not sure, what work is required to become a surveyor, but sounds interesting. So we've got our furthest watcher, regular here, Zulu Delta, evening, watching from cold Nairobi. It's cold in Nairobi. Wow, I would not have thought so. So the sun is over here at the moment. We got Rex as well. Rex, welcome. Rex Banner says, Big Daz, welcome to yourself. Any update from REM waste situation? No, there is no update. To be honest, I have been so busy, like really, really busy. I've been really, really busy. I am always busy, but lately I've just been really, really busy, and I just haven't had time. And some things you have to give your energy or time to more than others, and I just haven't had the time to do it. It's sort of been on the back of my list, so we'll see what happens with that, but I haven't. We've had some delays with the project anyway, so I haven't really been there. We are finally sorting out some last things. You guys might have seen I had a video where we had met with the building inspector. Finally, we've been waiting to meet with the building inspector. We had to sort out all the formalities, but we've finally done that. I've actually had an email from the council now with about what we discussed in the meeting and what steps he wants me to take now. So the drainage is the first thing. I'm also waiting for the building regs drawings to be done. Long story, I'll make it short. One of the issues we came up with this job, it's just been so many different issues, but once we get through these final bits, we actually be able to start the job. One of the issues was the original planning. There was a plan done by an architect which was submitted and was approved for the extension. The extension was not built to plan. To be honest, it's really different from the plan. It's a lot bigger than it should have been, and the shape is different. So it's not according to what was allowed. Now, building regs a lot of the time, or the building control in the councils or whatever, they don't really communicate. And even the guy said that to me. They don't really communicate with each other. So those in the planning department and those in the building control department, planning said to you, this is what you're allowed to build. Building control come in to make sure that you're building whatever you're building correctly, and they tend to go off building regs drawings. Sometimes there is no building regs drawings, in this case there was none. So they just come and look at what you're actually building and make sure that it's built correctly. So when I've explained to him, I said, look, this is not built to plan, and we're actually going to change it, knock it all down and build it back to the plan. So after we had the sort of building regs drawings were done later, when all the issues came up and found out all these things that were issues, the council said they need XYZ. So then they went out and got building regs drawings, and the structural engineer came to site and he did the drawings based on what was already built. Okay, so he resized the steels to the correct size, everything which was based on what was already built. So the building regs drawings we have are irrelevant because we are going to be building it to how it was supposed to be built. So now we are getting building regs drawings done based on the original planning drawings. So it's like a lot of wastage and back and forth. Unfortunately, time and money has been wasted just because proper procedures weren't followed in the beginning, and which is why a lot of the time I do some videos where I try to explain procedures, things that are important, because they end up saving you lots of headache, lots of costs, and lots of drama if you don't follow things in the correct way. So at the moment, we're waiting for building regs drawings to be done. Once we get building regs drawings done, then we're full speed ahead. So let's see. So project manager, maybe project manager. I thought it might be that, but I thought it's probably something more fancy. But it could be project manager. So we've got Anchorman Nerman from the west coast of Ireland. Shout out to Anchorman. Welcome. Society says yes, it's project manager. Nice. Raging Blade question. I remember the short video roller skating with Charlie Collison. Top Ricky. Yeah. That's yeah, because I saw the video that he posted, and I shared a video of me skating at the same place that he was skating at. Unfortunately, that place is closed down. It closed down after COVID. I think they really struggled after COVID, and they just couldn't get themselves back together. And I think the landlords or something like that just raised the rent up. I think this place has been going for donkeys. That's Colchester Roller World. So it's closed down, unfortunately. A really cool place. Let's see. Theo is watching from New York City. Welcome, Theo. Thank you for tuning in. Syed asks, are construction materials no longer rising in price? Are they pretty settled now and good availability? I would say they're sort of settled now. They're sort of settled. Or rising. Maybe they are rising some places, but not like they were rising before. So maybe not as noticeable. But they're pretty sort of stabilized now. Availability is there. Once in a while you find a few little issues. I did mention in a video, I think 2 weeks ago, there was building sand was gone. I was told national shortage. We went to about 3 different places and there was no building sand. They were like the national shortage of building sand. So that's the only thing that I can think of that's happened in a while, but typically everything is available. Evening to you, Mike Newman, as well. Thank you for tuning in. We've got RB as well. Good evening. What nail gun are you thinking to get? A gas powered one, pass load, or battery operated one? To be honest, I don't know much about them. So, but correct me if I'm wrong. I think the gas ones are better. I could be wrong. I really don't know much about them. I know there's carpenters about on here sometimes, so they might be able to let me know what they think is the best one. I'd probably end up watching some videos, to be honest, to educate myself a bit better on what ones are the best. But I really don't know. But I'm also not really in a rush to get one, to be honest. I'm really not in a rush. Because as I said, I can't justify buying one because I don't do the carpentry as much. If I was like doing carpentry every day, I'd probably got one by now. But we knock up a few roofs here and there. We don't do a lot of lofts. If we did lofts a lot, like we do extensions and garden houses, then I'd probably would have had one by now. So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe on the next job, maybe we might invest in one. Let's see. Syed is asked, are there any materials that back to pre-COVID prices, or that's a dream that would never come true? That's never coming true. Ain't nothing going back down again. So you better forget about that. Whatever prices you're paying before COVID, that's gone. That ship has sailed. None of it's coming back down, I don't think. Jamie asks, hi Darren, how is your electrician course going and how are you finding it so far? Have you got to any practical aspects of the course yet? So I haven't got to practical yet. It's been going good. This weekend was a struggle. This weekend really was a struggle because I had a lot of things to do. I worked part of the weekend, but I had other things on. My daughter had something on Sunday morning, and I had to go and see her little performance. She was singing and stuff at church, so I went to see that. So that took sort of my first lesson out of the way, because my lessons are between 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. and 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. So that's my first lesson, 3 hours, and then from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. that's my second lesson. So I do 6 hours on a Sunday and 6 hours on a Saturday. So it's literally just involves usually me sitting in bed with my laptop, half falling asleep, trying to pay attention to what's going on and going through these books. But when it is good, it's been interesting. Last weekend, or not the weekend gone, the weekend before, we spent the whole weekend on the building regs, which was really interesting. And the weekend gone is my fourth weekend, I believe. I think it's my fourth weekend. I've got to catch up on the videos. I can watch it pre-recorded, sort of after. I think it might be week 4 or 5 gone. I've got 7 weeks, so I'm over halfway there. 7 weekends, and then I've got to do. I think I'll do a mock exam, and then I do the actual exam. Once I pass that, then I can schedule in my practical lessons. So what I have to figure out at the moment is whether I'm going to do my practicals on weekends, which I have to do 5-day weekends. So I'm going to have to do Saturday, Sunday, and maybe a Saturday, or I can do Monday to Friday and knock it out in 1 week. And I think I'm going to be more inclined to do that. So I might just shut down everything for a week and then just go every day, because it's an 8-hour day, and just do the whole day, the whole 5 days of practicals all at one go. And that's your assessment. I think your assessments are part of that as well. I can't remember exactly how it works. And I think that's it. I think that is going to be it. So there's a lot of it. It's sort of like it's a lot crammed in all in one go. So it is a bit intensive. I won't lie. It is a bit intensive, especially when they got 6 hours in one day of lessons. And I'm not used to that sort of level of schooling at the moment. So, yeah. But it's going all right overall. Overall, it's going all right. Let's see. Dave says, evening, Darren and all. Apologies late again. You're welcome, man. Just sneak in the back, Dave. Sneak in the back quietly. Welcome. Syed, are you pretty comfortable with your business size, or do you have aspirations to go larger or target only the high net wealth clients like Asheville Construction currently does? It's an interesting question. I'm comfortable. Let's just say I'm content. That's probably the right word. So if I continue doing what I'm doing now, I'll be happy. If I do bigger stuff, I'll be happy. But I'm not sort of like, I am an ambitious person, but I'm not those sort of super ambitious people, in the sense my ambition is not really based on money, if that makes sense. Like, some people are really ambitious because they want to be a millionaire, or they want to have this massive house, or they want to have this and they want to have that. So that sort of drives their ambition. I'm ambitious to an extent, but I'm very content if I have a small house, if I have a large house. Either of them, I'm going to be happy with it, basically. So in that doesn't push me to go too over the edge, if that makes sense. I just more enjoying what I do, which is why I work hard more than just trying to make money. I hope that makes sense. So I think, if my friend asked me that today, he said, because he called me and he was saying, I see your YouTube's doing really well. I see you're really busy. And he says, does more money mean more problems? And I was like, oh, no, he said something like that. And I said that it's the same, because money removes some problems, but then it gives you other problems. So it's like you're just swapping one problem for a different problem. That's how I see it. Do you know what I mean? Problems that you didn't have before become problems, and you know what I mean, if that makes sense. So so I'm not sort of like aspiring to be this sort of, have this huge company. It'd be nice. I mean, Asheville doing amazing stuff, absolutely amazing stuff. I'd love to do that. But I'd also be fine if I just had one van and 2 guys working with me. I'll be fine with that. But also the problem I'm having, to be honest, with the expansion is staffing. Staffing is probably my main issue. Just finding good people who work like me, because that's very important. Hardworking, honest, reliable people. That's the hardest thing I'm finding. And if I had more people like that, then things would probably be even further off they are. So yeah, I mean, I've just lost Mitchell, who's literally flown out this morning. I spoke to him this morning. He called us when he was in the airport, so we had a chat with him on a video call. And yeah, because I mentioned on yesterday's video that his grandfather passed away, sadly, literally the day we did that video, the next day, so he didn't get to see him, unfortunately, before he passed. So he's obviously got to arrange a funeral, so he's on his way there. He's probably in the Caribbean right now, because it takes about 8-9 hours to get down there, so he should be arriving there soon. But yeah, unfortunately, I've lost him for now, so he'll be back. But wait for Namdi to come back. Namdi, if you're on here, hurry up and get back. We need you here, man. Finish that job off and come back. So we need you right now. All right, so let's move on. So we got Sharked. Shark says, with pressures on people financially, there's a strong hint where people won't be spending on extensions, etc., where they might have had the money. Does this mean prices drop for extensions? I don't know. I think it may drop for some people. As I mentioned earlier, those who have the work, they're not going to drop their prices. For instance, like for us, I have more money. I have more work than I could handle. I've got more inquiries than I can handle. And I'm fortunate, I guess. Social media has helped a lot. But people who tend to have a good, loyal customer base, who are good at what they do, they know their value in the market. Their prices are not going to go down. It's maybe going to be some other people bringing their prices down because they want to get the work. But I wouldn't bring my prices down at the moment. So it just depends, I guess. But maybe there will be some prices going down, possibly. Belgiers Media. Quick question: why is Dominica West Indies so amazing? I don't know. Why is it? You know why Dominica is amazing. Yeah, Dominica is a wonderful place. It's a fellow Dominican friend of mine here. So yeah. Oh, come on, man. We all know Dominica is an amazing place. Let's see. Syed, why would you ever do a video where you share what you quoted for a client's extension, etc., and the time you anticipate it to take? I could do that. The only thing is, those videos take a lot of work to do, but maybe a time when, if I have time, maybe I could do something like that. I don't mind doing videos like that, or I might break down one extension of how much it costs or something like that. Yeah, I could do that. Let's see where are we now. Dean, do you own your own property, mate? Have you done building works on yours? With your skills, you could buy your own properties and do them up and sell them. Has this ever been of interest to you, bro? I don't currently own my own property. I did a long time ago. I actually became a property owner at 21, believe it or not. I bought a property at 21. My first house I bought in Stevenage. That was in 2001. So yeah, 21. 2001. A long time ago. And the 2008, I talked about this before, 2008, when we had the credit crunch and all that stuff, I had a business and everything went down. I lost my home and everything. And I just never looked into buying again. I guess it had to give me a bit of a sour taste, I think, the whole experience. Obviously, I was very young, being 21, a lot more irresponsible and not understanding how the world works back then. So people ask me this all the time. To be honest, because my plans are to move to Dominica, I don't want to put too much roots or put too much finances into the UK at the moment. I'm more interested in investing in Dominica because my goal there is to obviously build my own home, but I also want to build affordable homes. So that's my dream, is to buy large pieces of land and build small affordable homes, particularly for sort of single people as well, because we have a big shortage of properties in that area. So I think that's where I would want to develop in the Caribbean. So probably not in the UK. At least not in London. I wouldn't be able to afford it. London is too expensive, you know. So yeah, that's my plans. Jamie asks, Darren, re-electrician course. If your course is online, where would you do the practical part? So they have a few centers. When you get to that stage, you have to book whatever the slots are whenever, I don't know when the slots are. I'm not sure. They have a few. I think they've got something in where's that area? Sort of near Stevenage, maybe Letchworth or somewhere around that area. They've got a centre there, and then I think they've got one in Surrey somewhere, like Epsom or something. I think that's the nearest to me, so I think I'm going to be going there. So they have a practical, place that that you do the lessons from. I think that's where they do the online lessons from, because I can see the installations on the camera, so I think that's where they do that. Jamie Kent says, I did a 4 years electrical apprenticeship. You're always updating your knowledge when new versions of BS 7620. Yeah, basically, yeah, constantly. Because I did an electrical engineering apprenticeship. So I wasn't training to be a sparky. I was trained more to sort of manage the projects on sites, mostly commercial sites and stuff. And even when I was going to college, then we had the building regs books, the big brown book, or it might be green, I think. Then it's brown now. I had all those books and stuff, and there's so many revisions and things coming out since then. So, and that was, I think it's 18th edition now. This was 2000. No, I'm talking about, it wasn't even 2000. This is 97, between 97, 98, 99, 2000, about 4 years. Yeah, something like 97 to 2000. So it's like 20 something years ago, when I did my apprenticeship. So you have to be constantly keeping up to date with things. Let's see. Neil says, Neil comment, good evening, Darren. I am a bit late for the live. I'm in Dominica. Wow, amazing. Just returned from Roseau. I hope all is well with you and your crew in the UK. Yeah, everything is well, man. And lucky you, man. So Neil is in our lovely country, Dominica. He's returned from Roseau, which is the town or the city. So yeah, Mitchell is arriving down there today, so you might bump into him. Look out for him. He's gonna have his shades on. He hasn't got locks anymore, so you might miss him because he cut his locks off. But you never know, you might bump into him while you're down there. So if you do see him, say hi. Mega Man says, hi Darren, I've always wondered why you don't find houses to refurb and flip. Do you make more money for doing up other people's houses? Yeah, I don't know. I have thought about it. Well, one, it takes finances, a lot of capital investment to do it. I haven't looked into it enough to see if I could even afford to do it, to be honest. Because I said you need big capital investment. Because even if I did the jobs myself, or I had my crew, we come in and do it, I have to, I'm not working on other jobs. I'd be paying the wages or whatever myself, other people. So I have to, still going to be a lot of costs in it, as well as materials and so on. So, yeah, I don't know. I just don't want, as I said before, I'm not really looking to do anything in the UK at the moment. Maybe in the future, but I want to focus my efforts on the Caribbean for now. Let's see. Jas says, Darren, I would recommend the eFix YouTube channel for electrician course and news. Okay, I'll check that out. eFix, EFIXX. I'll definitely check that out. Thank you. Hey, brother, how's the cardboard build going? Can't wait for the videos. Oh, I mentioned earlier, we're waiting for some building regs drawings to come through, and then we are going to be sort of full speed ahead on that soon. So yeah, we just finished the 7x4 garden house. We are almost finished the other garden house. We're there tomorrow to finish the K-rending, and then there's just literally a few little tiny bits to do inside, and we're done there. So once those two jobs now are out of the way, I can really attack the cowboy builder job. I'm waiting for some structural drawings to come through as well that are being done right now. Let's see. When is your video tonight uploading? Oh, I think it might be uploaded now, actually. Let me have a look. It was uploading. When it uploads, I have to select to put it on live, so it's probably uploaded. I will put it on straight after this video. Let's see. Yeah, it's uploaded. So as soon as I come off here, which is going to be in the next 5 minutes or so, then I'll put it on live so you guys can watch tonight's video. So just give me a couple of minutes after this, and then it should be ready. Let's see. Amit says, hi Darren, do you need planning permission to convert a garage into a room? Possibly. In most cases you do. Planning permission, yeah, in most cases you do, to turn it into sort of a habitable room, but I'm not 100% sure on that, so you need to double check that, but I think you do. Niels asks, I hope Michelle have an amazing flight, especially transfer from BA to into Caribbean. I'm so sorry to hear about his grandfather's death. May he rest in peace. Thanks, Neil. Write a book. You should write a book. Is land cheap in Dominica? Is land and property cheap in Dominica? It's been going up a lot, really, to be honest. It's not really. No, I wouldn't say it is. If you like a house, I mean, you do get more house for your money. So for instance, you could buy like a 3-bedroom bungalow for about $400,000, which is Eastern Caribbean dollars. So you're talking about 120,000 pounds, maybe something like that. 120,000 pounds would get you a nice house. So, but depending on where you go, you will spend £1 million. So, you know what I mean. But you can get a nice house for 120,000 to buy. Like most places in the Caribbean, the housing markets are very slow, so you tend to get a better deal on purchasing than you would, like, say, in England. You know what I mean? So let's see. Dave asks, I'm from Northeast England and London house prices are eye-watering. Yeah, absolutely crazy. You buy a 1-bedroom or studio apartment in London for £400,000. It's just absolutely crazy. I just don't know what's going on, but it's crazy. So Lee says, Darren is trying to compete with his other half with all her qualifications and letters after her name. But generally, once you have the on-site practical knowledge, the course is slightly easier. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, I'm not even trying that. I can't compete at all. Not at all. I'm not even interested in that. To be honest, I'm not an academic person. I've never wanted to go to university. I don't know why. I've just never interested me. I guess that's why I did the apprenticeship. I'm a practical person, and I hated going to college. Even just that, I'd rather be on work during the 4 days that I worked, and even then I preferred being on site. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, not academic at all. Hate reading. Amit says, what would be an average price for that? I couldn't even tell you. Or is that for converting a garage? It really depends. I don't know. You're probably going to start at 10 grand for anything like that, to be honest, to do it properly. But I couldn't tell you exactly. So let's see, where are we now? Theo, my condolences to Mitchell and his family. Thank you. I'm sure Mitchell will probably catch up one of these videos. And Jag with the Thundercats logo. Love Thundercats. I grew up on Thundercats, man. Absolutely love Thundercats. I was watching Thundercats the other day with my daughter. She absolutely loved it. Hey Darren, can you shout out to my wife, Colvinda? Hello, Colvinda. Sorry. Welcome. Thank you for tuning in. Hope you're enjoying the videos. So big shout out to you. Right, so we're nearly here now. So Dean says, yes, mate, you need building control because you You need to put a window in, etc., and door, so you're altering the structure. Therefore, we'll need to get building control. Yeah, definitely building control. Yeah, 100% building control. Even for insulation, you might even have to. Sometimes you gotta even dig out the concrete foundation, floor, and insulate it. So building regs you definitely need. The planning is what I'm not 100% sure for all cases, but definitely you need building control for that. So Dean says I paid 225,000 for a tiny one-bed bungalow in Broadshires in Kent. Wow, crazy. In Kent, 225 for a one-bed bungalow. You get a very nice house in Dominica for that. You're on the 700,000 or so to get that. My cousin had recently, he's building a house at the moment. He wanted me to build it at the time, but obviously I'm here. I wasn't ready to settle down out there, but he's getting someone to build it for him. And I think he's building, I think it's like 3 stories. I think the ground floor's like parking and all that stuff, or the lower part. And then the first floor, or the first level, because it's got external staircases and stuff. So the first layer is like 2 apartments, quite good size apartments. And then the top of the house is like a huge house on the top. And I think it's costing him $1 million to do it. And that's to build it, because he had a QS do all the costings, and then he sent it for me and everything to look at. And it was in for £1 million, $1 million to do it. So that's about £300,000. And that's like a huge house, with 2 apartments as well. 3-story massive house building, So yeah, a lot bigger, a lot more than a 1-bed bungalow. So John Barleycorn says, quality workmanship, mate. Love your videos. Thank you very much, man. Thank you. All right, let's see if we can get to this last question. Let's see. Kamardin, can I ask, which is better, bitumen felt or DPM rubber for the flat roof? Please explain. I say this a lot of the times. People ask about roofs. What's better? I don't think any of them personally is better. I don't think felt, rubber, fiberglass, I don't think any of them is better than each other. What's the most important is who's installing it. So if you've got someone who knows how to install bitumen felt roofs and do it properly, you're going to have an amazing roof that's going to last you for 20 years. You know what I mean? If you get someone who doesn't, like you saw the cowboy builder job, where they just slapped 1 layer of felt and torched it to the wood, and that was the end of it, then obviously it's not going to be any good, Or you get someone to do a fiberglass roof who doesn't know what they're doing, and it's just pinholes everywhere, and it's just a mess. So I don't think, some people swear by felt roofs, some swear by fiberglass. I'm more of a fiberglass person because that's just what I'm used to doing. So I have done the bitumen roof before. We did a loft once and we did it, torched it and stuff. I have done it before. It's quite a lot quicker to put on. I'll say that. The rubber roofs as well are quite good, but it's really preference. And some people don't like the look of fiberglass. Some don't like the look of felt. So, it's really a preferential thing, and it's all about the quality of the installer is what I would say. But I couldn't tell you which one is better in my opinion. All right. Okay, let's see if I can catch up. You guys get the questions in before I can finish them. Dean says, Darren, let us know once you've moved to Dominica. I'm going to sell my bungalow, move out there with you, and come work review. Love, mate. Have a good evening. Thanks, Darren. Enjoyed this live as always. Yeah, man. Come down. Come down. Sleepy Sam, what advice would you give to board a loft in a new build, especially with really thick insulation in a new build? Okay, there's a couple of things you can do. Especially if you've got really thick insulation, that's sort of, I'm assuming it's sticking out past the rafters, or not the rafters, sorry, your ceiling joists or whatever. I'm assuming that's what you mean by really thick. You can put the board in on legs, which is a good thing to do. So that way you're not compressing the insulation and you're giving it space. So you can get these I can't remember what they call them now. Can't remember what they call them, but there's these little plastic legs that you buy, and you can screw them to the what do you call it, to the ceiling joists, and then they give you sort of a raised platform to install the boards and screw the boards down to. So that's probably what I would suggest if you're gonna board the lofts, especially if you've got really thick insulation. You don't want to be compressing it down, stuff like that, because you can keep your insulation in there. Some people in the past, when they used to board their lofts, they used to take insulation out so that they could get space to board and stuff, and I would never advise that. So raise it up and then reboard it. So Amit's asking, what's the best time of year to visit Dominica? Well, to be honest, it depends. It depends on what type of person you are and what. See, if you like, so you see Belle Diaz, she knows all about this stuff. Creole Festival, Independence, and Carnival. So, if you look at her DP picture, you can see she's very much into Carnival. She runs Carnival costumes. She creates Carnival costumes and all that stuff in the UK and Dominica. So, if you're a party person and you like nightlife and music and vibes and all that stuff, then Creole Festival, we have something called the World Creole Festival, which is actually an amazing event. It's held around our Independence time, November, I think beginning of November. And it's sort of like the closest thing I can say, it's like a Glastonbury, basically. It's like I think it's over 2 days, huge outdoor staged event. And we have artists from all over the world, as well as local artists. But you could have we had Burna Boy last year, for instance. You know, many of you might know who Burna Boy is. Just have loads of international artists of various different genres and stuff. So that's but that whole period is a festive period because it's Independence. So there's lots of fringe events going on. Obviously Carnival as well, which is around sort of beginning of March, end of February time, sort of Lent time. We have lots and lots of events around that time, you know. So that's a good time if you want to party and stuff. If you just want quiet kickback time, then literally probably after Carnival time, sort of like March, April, if you just want to go quiet, and then you can just do all the sort of sightseeing, the hiking. We have a lot of that stuff. Very, very chilled. We've got a lot of nature trails, nature walks, mountain hiking, going to see parrots, animals, all that sort of stuff. Go and see whales and all that sort of stuff, you know. So it just depends on what type of person you are and what you're going for, if that makes sense. All right, so let's see. So we're getting a good night's in. Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, you need a holiday. Definitely, you will not definitely won't be disappointed if you go to Dominica. Yeah, 100%. If you guys don't know about the place as far as a tourist attraction, go and check it out online. It's like no other Caribbean country that you'll ever visit. And people think because of the Caribbean, all Caribbean countries are the same. They're definitely not. And Dominica stands out very much in a very unique way to many of the other. It's nothing like Barbados, for instance. It's just very, very different experience. So yeah, definitely go look on YouTube for some videos of Dominica if you've never seen them. All right, so yeah, guys, thank you very much as usual for tuning in. I've had fun having a chat with you guys. I hope I was able to help answer some of your building related questions. A lot of the questions were not building related, but it was all good, and we had a good time. So thanks guys for tuning in. I am signing off now. The video is going to be on literally maybe like 2 minutes. I'm going to put it on for you now, so make sure you look out for that. Today was quite a good day. We got a lot of progress and we really transformed the site, so check that out on the timber frame extension, which is coming on in a second. And yes guys, so have a good evening, be blessed, and I'll speak to you guys soon. Take care.